Can you guys hear me? Put a one in the chat. I see the little thing moving, so you should be able to hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right. Hey guys. So I just finished watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, the season 10 premiere. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. I was waiting for the actual video to upload of what Martell said about Arionne on the show. But so you guys remember how the last few years, every time Martell or anyone on the show would refer to Arionne Curry, they would bleep it out, they would redact her name, or they would just like I said, they would bleep it out, or it was just never like him saying her name, or if anyone would address her, they would say like the side chick or something. But now that Melody Cherie isn't on the show to say, I guess that was a clause maybe in her contract saying like no one could even say her name or something. But now it looks like production is like one step closer to bringing her on the show because they're saying her name. They're showing pictures. They're showing pictures of Martell and Knox. The picture that's in the screen with the circle, they showed that picture, and then they showed Arionne Curry and Martell was meeting. Well, let me start from the beginning of the episode. So the episode starts off with Miss Wanda. So Miss Wanda comes into Tisha's house, and that was like how it started with her car coming in, her outfit. They always have to show the outfit, and then they made this grand thing like Miss Wanda is back. So Wanda wants to sit next to Marceau. Marceau's like, absolutely not. I don't want to sit next to you or whatever. And Wanda, she's straight into business. She's like, I want to know what's going on with this Martell situation. You guys know Martell did that interview with Arionne, and supposedly interviewing Marceau's side chick or whatever. And Marceau is like, well, what did you think my answer was? What have I been saying? And Wanda's like, you haven't said nothing. And Marceau's like, exactly. And it's going to stay that way. I'm not saying nothing. Wanda's like, I don't believe you. Like, I feel like Marceau is lying. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Tisha said that Marceau is her protector. She's not worried about anything because for years, Marceau has shown that he's been her protector. That's pretty much what Tisha was saying regarding that whole situation. So then you have Kimmy. Let me find it. Don't even have that clip. Well, it was essentially Kimmy, Monster, and Maurice. And so they're just telling Monster to get ready for college, like to make sure that you don't fall into peer pressure. Like if you're playing football and people are drinking and smoking, like make sure that you don't fall into that peer pressure. So Maurice asked Monster what he thinks about the DUI situation. Because you guys know Maurice got that DUI, it got dismissed. He said, what were your friends saying? He said like his friends were just like cracking jokes, like it didn't make him feel good because his friends just thought it was funny. And Maurice is like, well, did they say anything about the dismissal? And Maurice is like, and Monster's like, no. I feel like weird calling him Monster because he's like almost about to be in college. But anyway, Monster's like, no, I didn't. They didn't say anything about dismissal. Maurice is like, that's usually how it is. Like no one wants to talk about when things are dismissed. However, they want to talk about they want to talk about me, but not talk about, both sides or whatever. So anyway, Kimmy is like on to business, right? So she's looking at him like, So there was a situation where Chris Fletcher, and he was talking to Melody. So they just, anytime it would like allude to something about Melody, they would just completely cut her out. So I think that they will follow up with like just not saying her name or talking about her, because this situation was him talking to Melody. But anyway, Kimmy was saying that there is a situation where it got back to them. Chris Fletcher was talking to Melody, but they didn't say Melody. They just said Chris Fletcher was talking to someone. And she was saying like, oh, the older gentlemen were saying like they need to get NDAs. Like, remember Melody was saying that the older men were trying to teach Martell how to cheat smarter, have the women sign NDAs, have the women, and stuff like that. So Melody was confronting Chris about it. Chris had said, that sounds like something Maurice and Marceau, not me. Like as if Maurice and Marceau has these women sign NDAs. So Kimmy is like, so do you have your side chicks sign NDAs? And Maurice gonna say, oh, I never had anyone sign NDAs. And Kimmy's like, wrong answer, because obviously you're supposed to say, I don't have a side chick, not no one has an NDA. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she was looking at him like, are you serious, nigga? But yeah, so he just laughed it off. Next scene, I believe, was Martell. Well, Destiny. It was like Destiny's little montage. I didn't get a picture, but Destiny was doing some real estate stuff, and she said that she's been in real estate, has a real estate license. Blah blah blah. Fast forward. So Martell meets with Destiny. She gives him a candle, and Martell is talking about Arionne. So Destiny asked what he's been up to, and Martell's like, I haven't been up to nothing, just raising the kids. Arionne, and that's the first time, like I said, we've actually heard him say her name because the show always bleeps it out. So I'm gonna just let you guys hear what Martell had to say about Arionne Curry. Hopefully they don't trip. Here we go.
Shoot, the kids, Arionne, yeah, trying to get her through nursing school.
Okay.
So I think that's
So you investing in your woman?
I better.
It's getting heavy.
Yeah, we good.
More
now.
serious, like
She keep on playing the cards while she go get that ring type thing. Yeah. When I met Arionne, I was already married.
You guys have overcome some things in your relationship. One of the things is,
what you been up to?
She was a peasant.
Wow, you really said that?
Yeah. So Arionne and I, we've had our ups and downs over the years. I've done things, said things that wasn't pleasant to her, like, I called her peasant, which I regret now. But, me being in a relationship at the time, that kind of what prompted it. But I don't think like that about Arionne now. She's a good girl. She's very smart, a great parent. I feel that I'm lucky to even have her on my side. Yeah.
I'm glad.
She was a peasant.
All right, so you guys heard that. That was pretty much what Martell had to say about Arionne Curry. Production showed some pictures of Arionne while Martell was talking. So they showed this one. So they flashed the screen with Arionne Curry because, like I said, they've never, the most that they've said was that audio, the phone call between him and Arionne where he was asking for a DNA test. That was the most that they've actually addressed her. And then, like I said, when people would address her, they would either bleep it out or they would say like coleslaw or something like that, but they never actually said Arionne Curry. So I figured this is like the next step before production tries to bring her on, which a lot of people have been saying that she's probably going to come on now that Melody is not on. So they also showed this little family picture between Arionne, Martell, and Knox, because remember Arionne was saying that she wasn't going to sign off for her son to be on the show. So I guess maybe she allowed it. So anyway, that was that situation. And then the next scene you have Nell and Chris Fletcher, which I don't have a picture, so we'll just go with this one. Oh, I do this scene right here. So Martell comes to talk to Nell Fletcher about remember when there was the event? I forgot which event, some derby or something. Anyway, there was an event where Arionne met. So this is the second picture. Arionne met with Nell Fletcher and we were all talking about it. And then Nell was like, oh, I felt like Martell set me up. Remember, she's like, I felt like you set me up. You, I guess he had his PR take this picture and the perfect timing, snap the picture or whatever. And Nell felt set up because she's friends with Melody, and she felt like I wouldn't have shook her hand, I wouldn't have been cool with her because she was a side chick or whatever. So she was saying Martell set her up. Martell said he never set her up, and he feels like she owes him an apology or whatever. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Destiny was talking about Lance having a baby. So Martell asked, oh, is that true? Which it is true. And Nell Fletcher was saying that Lance is just tired, I guess, being a new parent or whatever, a parent again. And Lance has been tired and stuff. So that was essentially that. I believe they had a conversation also about the NDA situation, having Maurice and Marceau having their girls sign NDAs. Finally, you have Marquez. Well, okay, so there were a few scenes with this situation. Marquez met with Ken, and they were just trying to hash out their differences, saying that they're both grown men and they just want to get along for the kids. And what's his name? Ken, he was like, anytime you want to just come get the kids or come in, or anytime you're welcome or whatever. And so I guess when Marquez came to get the kids, he came unannounced. Trisha was having a conversation with her homegirl about the divorce and stuff. Marquez saw that they were having a conversation about him, so he decided to cause a scene. So they're arguing back and forth, Trisha and Marquez, and he's arguing with the friend, all in front of his son, who's trying to tell him let's just go, stop all this. And that was essentially how the episode ended. Then they had the trailer of what's to expect this season and stuff like that. So that was the episode. Like I said, wasn't much, but it was interesting. It flowed nice. It went by fast, because I remember sometimes I'd be like, oh my god, when is the show gonna end? But it seemed like it went by pretty fast. I just was like, oh, that's scandalous about production finally showing Arionne, because like I said, for years we're just used to them bleeping her out, but it was just clear, Arionne Curry or whatever. And he said that he plans on getting a ring, that if she keeps keeps it up, how she's been doing. You know, he's thinking about getting Arionne a ring, and he talks about how they first met, and that she's a good mom. He said that he's lucky to have her in his life, and also the interview that Martell did. So he was like getting called out about that by Destiny, and Destiny said that that's just being petty to like keep going back and forth with the Scotts and have that interview with Arionne and all that, like that wasn't right. So Destiny was like scolding him about that interview that he did, which the interview was kind of petty, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that is it. He said if this is true, then the terms of the court agreement on the 4-piece nuggets being on social media should be rescinded. Someone said messy, 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 definitely messy. Washington, D.C. in the house. Shout out to you. I said I wasn't doing the show another season so we can see them, but not the Eminem babies. Well, they wouldn't show the Eminem babies because Melody's not on the show anymore anyway, so I doubt that they'll do that. But yeah, so that's the situation. Looks like Martell is closer to getting, because you know he's been trying to get Arionne on the show for a long time, so it looks like he's closer to trying to get her on the show. Production is no longer bleeping her name out, so maybe they're open to it. But yeah, so that is the situation. I just wanted to come and give you guys a quick little review on the show. But yeah, what do you guys think about Arionne being like not back on, but where they're showing her name and not bleeping it out, showing her picture, showing Knox? Anyway, drop your comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from Empress Radio. Okay, bye.